And we're live, and we're back, and I'm your host. I wonder if I have to go to Blue Ridge today. It's always a concern when I go up there. Anyhow, I'm your host, BKP. These are all the ways you can get in touch with us. 706-889-9700. 706-889-9700. Chief at FetchYourNews.com and at FetchYourNews, at FetchYourNews, at FYNTV. You can also, don't say you can't find us. And then you can go to our YouTube channel and you can find us on YouTube, FYNTV, Fetch Your News. And then you can go and then, that's like writing. We always tell the writers, you know, you can't write a story and just say, and then, right, Sam? And then you can go to, we want you to follow our new Facebook pages. Now, we're splitting some things up so we can dilute in a way that will be better in the long run. So we need your help out here. If you like Fetch Your News Facebook page, we need you to go like Team FYN Sports. It's real simple. Team FYN Sports Facebook page. So that way on Friday nights, we will have all the highlights and scores. We're in Region High School football play. All of the articles go on there. All of the highlights, videos, it doesn't matter, goes on there. Our shows, we do a show Monday night in Union at Circuit World in Blairsville. For the Panthers, we do a show on Tuesday night for the Gilmer Bobcats right here at Circuit World in East Ellijay. We do a show on Wednesday night for the Fannin Rebels up at Circuit World in Blue Ridge. And we do a show on Thursday night. We do a show at Johnny's New York Style Pizza for the Pickens Dragons right there. Now, I like that one. I love all the shows, Richie, but I think I like that one the best because, in a way, because we're one step closer to the actual Johnny's Pizza. I mean, it's right there. I mean, they remember it's hot. They come over. They put it on the trays and everything. I mean, now I want to thank on Domino's up there. Domino's Pizza, great guys up there at Domino's Pizza there in Blairsville, right next to Circuit World. Tuesday night, Shane's Rib Shack provides a meal. We want to thank them on Tuesdays. Wednesdays, Blue Jeans Pizza. That's a good one too there. Blue Jeans Pizza with the meal for the guys and the coaches. And Thursday, Johnny's New York Style Pizza. Wow. What do I do on Friday? How come I got to figure something out? Somebody's got to do something on Fridays. Okay. Oh, I did tell them that, right? You at Team FYN Sports on Twitter and our Facebook page. So let me say this. I want to do this story. In a different way. This is the story I'm going to tell you. This is a story that is going to come. Now, the election, I think, is next week. But watch how this story comes back to us, okay? Watch how it comes back to us. Now, let's go back to, Richie, let's go back to hold on. Just want to check to make sure while Donald Trump is going to the United Nations. I think that speech is at 10 o'clock. Puerto Rico rations supplies before superstorm bankrupt island braces. Okay, 160-mile winds may go over there. We know that. Okay, just looking to see if there's any top stories while we were at break. Okay, put me back to Luther Strange. Okay, let me recap this. I'll make it quick. Luther Strange is on the right. He is the senator from Alabama that took Jeff Sessions' seat, actually was appointed to it by the governor that was removed from office due to sexual inappropriate relations or relationship or whatever with his associate. So the governor, before he left, one of his staff, but the governor, before he left, appointed Luther Strange to take Jeff Sessions' place. Luther Strange is either, I don't remember, former Attorney General of Alabama or Secretary of State.
Attorney General. That's why he was appointed. He was the guy closing in on the investigation that could have impeached Governor Bentley, I believe was his name.
So Luther Strange, former Attorney General of Alabama, got appointed. A lot of smoke around this one. But here's the point. There's a special election. The new governor came in and said, no, we're going to have a special election. A governor can call a special election. You got to check every state's constitution, but they basically can call special elections when things like this take place. So she calls a special election to fill this seat, and it is now up to Roy Moore and Luther Strange. Now, it was Mo Brooks. Was that his name, Mo Brooks? Mo Brooks was the third candidate. He is a congressman from Alabama. Mo Brooks has since, because he didn't make it in the runoff, has since endorsed Roy Moore. Donald Trump voters seem to be supporting Roy Moore. Okay? Roy Moore has a double-digit lead. The establishment is on the right. The establishment is being supported by the corporatocracy, the media, the corporate media. He is being promoted by Mitch McConnell, all right, and strangely enough, Donald Trump. Why is Donald Trump supporting Luther Strange? I have just really quick on all this election stuff and Donald Trump making a deal with the Democrats. I highly think that there's a lot to do with. I highly think there's a lot to do with Donald Trump pushing Trump voters a certain way, pushing them a certain way. We'll get into that later. Okay, so do you have the Roy Moore clip ready? Play this. We're only going to play like a minute and a half. When we get to a certain point, I'll tell you to come back to me. This is from Roy Moore, and then we're going to go to the article NBC, and it's all over the internet today.
It said long ago that if you ignore virtue and morality, you will shake the foundations of this country. It was virtue or morality which is the necessary spring of popular government. Who that is a sincere friend to it can look with indifference on attempts to shake the foundation of the fabric. Our foundation has been shaken. Our road is clear. We've got to go back. There's time in our history where we did. One such time was war between the states. And we were finding our nation was torn. Is our nation torn today? You know that we were torn apart in the Civil War. Brother against brother, North against South, party against party. What's changed? Now we got blacks and whites fighting, reds and yellows fighting, Democrats and Republicans fighting, men and women fighting.
Okay, that's a 5-minute long clip. We can't play all of it. But now we have blacks and whites, reds and yellows, Republicans, Democrats, men and women. Okay, that was Roy Moore. Okay? Now, I have to be honest. I wonder if they still sell Red Man chewing tobacco, because I know they sell yellow rice. So they don't know what to do. They're out of options in Alabama. Strange is 12 points down, and this is from September 18th, 8:55 last night, from Alex Stelzwald, and this is NBC News. Now, it's all over the internet. Alabama GOP Senate candidate uses racial slurs. Now, we can't identify a gender, okay? I swear to God, gender queer, whatever it is, I'm telling you, we are messed up. We can't identify a gender, but we can identify what racial slurs are. Roy Moore, the Republican frontrunner in next week's special Senate election in Alabama, referred to reds and yellows fighting in a campaign speech video. Moore, the ultra-conservative former chief Justice of Alabama Supreme Court, lamented racial divisions in his remarks on Sunday. We have blacks, whites fighting, reds and yellows fighting, Democrats and Republicans. Red and yellow, in quote, red and yellow are widely recognized as racial slurs. Well, let me tell you something. Red and yellow and black and white is widely recognized in Sunday school for kids in kindergarten. It's called Jesus Loves the Little Children, All the Little Children of the World, red and yellow, black and white. That's all Roy Moore was doing, is we are all supposed to be under one umbrella of love, and we're fighting. But that's where NBC took this, and you Google this. Why? Because the guy on the left is the conservative, and he says the color red and yellow. But the guy on the right, if he would have said it, nothing would be said. And here's the comparable, and I'm going to get out of this story because this is going to go down the road. Now, let's move up where Breitbart has a candidate, and we have Justin Simmons that has been on this show that wants to replace the establishment Charlie Dent. Okay? So Justin Simmons is a candidate. He's a state representative in Pennsylvania. Okay? I think 141st or 43rd, whatever. But he's a representative in the state of Pennsylvania, and he wants to run to replace liberal, put it up, Charlie Dent, the establishment. And because Dent is the establishment, put Dent's picture up if you don't mind. There you go, Charlie Dent. He is not seeking an 8th term, and because he is the establishment candidate, okay, or former candidate, his hand-picked established candidate, Ryan McKenzie, put Ryan up, okay, Ryan McKenzie is the establishment candidate. Now, the Lehigh County chairman of the Republican Party sent out this tweet. Put it up, and you're going to probably have to read the tweet. Put it up, and then we'll show her.
You mean the text message?
Yeah, the text. I said tweet. I apologize. The text. Yeah, put that up. I can't read that from here. What's it read?
Okay, from Jess. How much do you think it would cost to get a billboard in Justin's district and put that Hitler Youth photo of him on it? Question mark. Trevor Waldron replied, we can make that happen. Then Matt, can't pronounce his last name, said, depending on the location, $1,500. And then Jess replied, in quotations, he'll, H-E-I-L, as in I'll Hitler, make a great congressman. He'll make a great congressman.
Heil Hitler,
ha ha ha,
will make a great congressman, ha ha ha. Hitler Youth, Justin Simmons put his picture up. They would have put this guy's picture, a state representative's picture, on a billboard of Hitler, the Hitler Youth, okay? Because Jess Bontano, is that her name or whatever, put her picture up. She is the chairman of the Lehigh Valley.
Bonneton.
Lehigh, yeah, Bonneton. Jess there is the chairman of Lehigh County, Pennsylvania, which is in Charlie Dent's district, which she and her friends are supporting the establishment candidate, but you hear nothing. You hear nothing. It's Hitler. They're associating this candidate as Hitler. You hear nothing. I'm just making the comparable. Watch these down the road. Establishment candidate, non-establishment. Watch it down the road. And the actual problem we have will not be the Democrats, will be the Republicans. Go ahead, Richie.
She also works for Charlie Dent. I think she's his finance director.
Exactly.
And the other guy that said we can make that happen, I want to say is his field director.
So it
trickles down.
Yeah, but they use, Roy Moore says red and yellow, and immediately NBC, if you Google right now Roy Moore, just the name, it'll be a half dozen articles all over the box of racial slur. Okay? But you Google this lady's name or that candidate's name or Charlie Dent, you won't see anything on the Hitler piece. Nothing on it. Okay, one more I want to do before we close. DACA. Let me just say, let's play the Nancy Pelosi clip, the one that's only, I think, a minute long. Let's play that one. Nancy Pelosi met all of her friends yesterday.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Sorry, we're frozen up.
All right,
Sorry,
reset
we're frozen
that.
up.
Reset
Sorry, we're frozen up. Sorry.
Reset that one and go ahead and let me know when you have it reset. Nancy Pelosi yesterday happens to be confronted by the Dreamers. DACA, the Dreamers, these young, aspiring, intelligent, law-abiding. Okay? Now, we've had the discussion here. Do we spend all the tax money and send them back? Or do we work something out? And remember, in the discussion, we asked in that discussion, what if we gave the Dreamers everything they wanted? All right? Everything they wanted.
We have the clip.
It said they can't vote. Go ahead and play that, Richie.
What is your answer, Congressman?
Let me say this, because you've had your say, and it's beautiful to our ears to hear your protection, your self-dignity. But I'm not. Hey, if you don't. Hey, stop it. Just stop it now. Just stop it now. Just stop it now. Let's stop it now. Stop it. I'm going to tell you something. You can. To what? Of course. We have. So do I assume?
This is our democracy. We cannot vote. For you. Or for any politician. We don't owe you. Nothing. This is what democracy looks like.
We don't owe you nothing. Go to hell. All right? I made a case all week saying, hey, let's see what we can't work out. You tell me, a taxpayer, a citizen, somebody born in this country, worked my whole damn life, you don't owe nothing? Go to hell. Get the hell out, okay? That's number one. And did you hear them chanting in the background? We can't even vote. We can't even vote. That's right. Tell them they can't vote. We don't owe you anything. You know what? Your mom and dad's come here. We've paid for your health care. We've paid for your education. All right? You take the county I'm sitting in. My school taxes are too high. Period. I love my teachers. I respect my superintendent of school. I don't know each and every one, but I thank the Board of Education for their willingness to serve the community. And I love the kids. But my school taxes are too high. Because guess what? We continue to pay in this country for you. We pay for your health care. Guess what, damn it? I don't have a hospital where I live. I have a rural hospital that's gone. And you know why my rural hospital is gone? It's not because of Obamacare, Obamacare doing something to my rural hospital. Not because they just wanted to leave. Because my hospital, the indigent care, the people going in the hospital that could not pay. We've paid for your health care in our hospitals. We've paid for your schools. We've paid for your vaccinations. We have paid for your every single thing you get almost, we paid for. And men and women in this country died so that my children, not yours, could have the freedom that's protected by this Constitution. Not you. So if you don't feel you owe us anything, and the only thing you want to do is we can't even vote, get the hell out. Leave today, damn it. There's a train going south. You can go. Now, what were the yellow signs? Now, you can watch my shows over and over and over and over. And I have not, I don't want to say advocated, but I have looked at the side of we got to do something and move on. It's left on the president's desk. We keep hearing 800,000, okay? But you know what the yellow sign said? All 11 million. All 11 million. The little yellow sheets they were holding up, you were maybe able to see at home. Go look at the video. It says 11 million. They want all 11 million. They don't want they want chain migration. They want Uncle Jose, not Uncle Joe, Uncle Jose and Aunt whatever, and Uncle this and cousin that and grandma this. They want chain migration. Because you have to understand, okay, if you start with a dreamer kid here and you go to his cousin, her aunts, her uncles, her grandma, her grandpa, mom and dad, when you keep going, you come up with 11 million. Trust me, you come up with 11 million. Because basically, I know so many that basically they've all come here and either brought children or have children, and they want chain migration. And those signs told how they feel. They do not want to assimilate. They do not want to be a part of your country. They do not. They believe it's their damn country. And guess what? It's not your damn country. It's our damn country. And don't you forget it. And I have a constitution that says it. Period. It does not, this Constitution does not protect your damn rights. And by the way, you don't have no damn rights in this country. All right, the Constitution, the rights in the Constitution are for me, whether you like it or not. They're not for you. So let me tell you something. If you're not happy that, President Donald Trump sat down with Chuck and Nancy and said, let's figure out the dreamers. If we have some good people in this country that we can work something out, but no chain migration. And you know why they're protesting? Because of the increased border security that would have to be in the deal. Because in 1986, damn it, Ronald Reagan did an amnesty deal. And when Ronald Reagan did the amnesty deal, we got screwed. Period. Okay? It was supposed to be amnesty / border security. We did not get any border security. You got your damn amnesty. We didn't get no border security. So it's over. You got it. It's over. We're not going to do it another damn time in this country. We're not coming up with another damn amnesty bill so you can stay and you can take off us and we can continue to pay for you and we don't get the border security that we've been promised since 1986. Period. Okay? So they're mad because it would come with border security. They're mad because the chain migration wouldn't be there for all 11 million. They're mad because they can't vote. And guess what? They said they don't owe you anything. We don't owe you a damn thing. I guess I could go on for another 6 minutes. Get the hell out. Get the hell out. That's all I got to say. Pack your damn bag, get your burritos, your tortillas, whatever you have, enchiladas, put them in the damn car and head for Mexico and get your asses out of here. What you got, Richie?
But I thought it was no fault of their own. The interesting thing with this, though, you gotta wonder what's going through Pelosi's head here. Like, oh my God, this is the thing I have cheerleaded and encouraged when I called 6 years ago when I called Occupy Wall Street young and fresh, and now they've turned against me, just like people said they would.
You know, the thing that really angers me, Richie, is because if you've been watching this show for the last week since this DACA thing came up with Chuck and Nancy, I have been I hate the word advocating, but I have been trying to have an open approach to it. I've been trying to look at it from a point that it's on the president's desk. I've been looking at it, do you blame these kids for coming across the border? And it's the mentality. It's the mentality that we owe everybody something. We owe everybody something. We owe them. We owe them for coming here. We owe them for being in our schools. We owe them. And they said, we don't owe you anything. That set me off because I think, here's the thing, I don't want to say that you should not, even for Nancy there. Nancy's trying to help you out. I mean, hell. She is trying to help you out. She's.
But identity politics don't allow them to see that. And furthermore, I've always said that this is just about creating voters, but at the end of the day, I mean, the problem isn't going anywhere, and I don't know. I had another good point, but I lost my train.
I will say this, and I don't have time. In 1986, the amnesty deal that was done, the men and women that were in that amnesty deal in 1986, at least those men and women were at a different time, hardworking. I don't know nationwide, but I have a lot of good friends that are Ancho, Crispin, Attilio, Jose. I mean, the list goes on. Raul. I got a lot of good friends. All right, from years gone back that went through the amnesty in 1986. And guess what? If you run into them today, they bought a home. They work every day. That's a different generation. This one here, the dreamers that you saw yesterday, they have fallen right into the entitlement group that we've created in this country.
And you notice how the media this whole time portrays it as, oh, these kids, you know, they give them a nickname like dreamers to romanticize it, make them seem like it's, you know, this
well, here's the thing. I agree with you 100%. We got 3 minutes.
But most of them are in their mid-20s.
Well,
they're not children. They were when they came here, but not anymore.
I attempted to look at an upside that we had to do something. I attempted that last week. I'm not saying I advocated for them, but I attempted to say, you know what? They did come here. They're 4 and 5 years old. They went to our schools. We've got the investment. Do you just send them home? You know, so on and so forth. And this is what happens. Okay, U.S. government wiretap former Trump campaign chairman. All right, Paul Manafort. U.S. investigators wiretap former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort under a secret court orders before and after the election. Before the election. That means the FBI. That means James Comey. Let me tell you something. I wanted to do this earlier and I didn't, and I'm going to do it tomorrow. If we indict Paul Manafort, okay, now I don't want to advocate if he did anything wrong, and I don't want to come on this show and make it look like if he did something wrong, I'm okay with it. But if we indict Paul Manafort, okay, and Lois Lerner or whatever her name is with the IRS, and Hillary Clinton and Susan Rice and Abedin and John Podesta and George Soros and Donna Schultz, Wasserman Schultz. I mean, there's a whole. If any of these people, Brian Pagliana, I mean, you know, all of these people, if any of these people. Not one indicted. Not one. But we're looking to indict Paul Manafort. And he was wiretapped. Some of the intelligence connected included communications that sparked concerns among investigators that Manafort had encouraged the Russians to help the campaign, according to 3 sources familiar with the investigation. Now, what they choose to not tell you, Special Counsel Robert Mueller team, which is leading the investigation into Russian involvement in the election, has been provided details of these communications. These came from the FISA court. They did it twice. Now, how many news networks will tell you the first FISA court warrant, okay? All right? Here it is. As part of the FISA warrant, CNN has learned that earlier this year, the FBI conducted a search of a storage facility belonging to Manafort. It's not known to have that they have found anything. Let me just say this. Manafort gets indicted. Wiretapping. Manafort has an apartment in Trump Tower. It's 10:01. We've run over. Don't forget, 7 o'clock. So you got 10 seconds. Do you have something that's 10 seconds long? Because you're looking like you want to say something.
I was just going to tell you it's 10 o'clock.
Oh, all right. All right. Tonight, Gilmer Bobcat Turf Talk, 7 o'clock. Don't miss it. Casey Wingard and the players. I'm your host, BKP. We'll be back tomorrow morning.